Shays Rebellion was fundamentally about taxes. It was a rebellion about the outrageous taxes being imposed by the Massachusetts government. So how did the leaders, who had promoted the last great rebellion in Massachusetts against taxes imposed by the British government, respond to this? They were outraged. Samuel Adams didn't see how anyone could rebel against an elected government. He said that he had rebelled and others had rebelled against a distant government they could not control, but under the Massachusetts Constitution, the voters of the state could vote in or out their elected officials, and it would be treasonous, worse than treasonous, to rebel against a popularly elected government. Abigail Adams, who was in London at the time, her husband was the American minister to London, and her husband also was the author of the Massachusetts Constitution, was even more outraged at their conduct of this rabble in western Massachusetts that was trying to usurp the power created under the Massachusetts Constitution. Others were a little more sanguine. Thomas Jefferson said that a little rebellion is a good thing, and as necessary in the political world as storms in the physical. Of course, he was not from Massachusetts, and he was at that time in France, where he was about to experience an even bigger rebellion. So the rebels demanding an end to the outrageous taxation, wanting the capital to be moved to central Massachusetts, did not garner a great deal of sympathy from state officials. And once the rebellion was suppressed in the late winter months of 1787, that is February of 1787, a lot of the rebels flee. They go to other states. They leave Massachusetts. Some stay, and some are put on trial for treason, and then are then sentenced to be hanged. And the government under Governor Bowdoin is adamant about enforcing the law and making sure these guys are not an example to others. But then there's an election in April of 1787. The rebellion now has died out, and this is one of the most lopsided elections in the history of Massachusetts, as John Hancock, beloved figure, is swept back into office with about 76% of the vote. Bowdoin is swept out, and most of the legislature is also turned out, the legislature that had raised taxes back in 1786 to doubling the tax rate and thus provoking the rebellion. Hancock is elected governor and immediately pardons everyone, except for two guys who had actually committed murder, pardons everyone involved in the rebellion. The Commonwealth survives. The people have spoken, and the law has its course.